Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we will learn returns for purchase order. In this scenario, vendor supplies us certain materials which we will use, and after using, we will return the material back to the vendor. Then the vendor will use the return material as per the usability of it. We must not confuse returns for purchase order with return delivery, because in the case of return delivery, we are returning wrong or incorrect material back to vendor, for which the vendor will send replacement with the correct material. Now here, let us take some examples for returns for purchase order. Let us say cables. Cables will have copper wire inside them, and after the cables are used, vendors will buy back used cables and they will extract the copper from the cables and send them back to the cable manufacturers. You know, copper is little bit expensive, so that is the used cables, are not, wasted actually. The vendors will, buy them back and extract the copper wires from the cables and send them back to the cable manufacturer. Okay. Now, we procure cables from a vendor and we have agreed with our cable vendors that we can return the used cables to them. Then the vendor will send a credit memo for the value of the copper contained in the cables. Okay. What is credit memo? Credit memo is the amount received from vendor. Okay. So this is about the returns for purchase order. Now we have received the cables. Now this is the scenario. We have received cables from a vendor against a purchase order. After using the cables, we return the used cables back to vendor. And after receiving the used cables, vendor will extract copper wire from the used cables and sell it to cable manufacturer. The scenario here is like this. We have received cables from a vendor against a purchase order. After using the cables, we return the used cables back to the vendor, and after receiving the used cables, vendor will extract copper wire from the used cables and sell it to the cable manufacturer. Now, how we send back the used cables to the vendor? We create a returns purchase order by selecting the returns indicator for this item in the item overview of the purchase order. Then the vendor will send a credit memo for the value of the copper contained in the used cables. We will post this credit memo by referring to the purchase order using Miro transaction code. Okay, referring to the return purchase order. Okay, so we will post the credit memo with respect to the returns purchase order. We enter a return just like we enter a goods receipt for a purchase order. Choose goods receipt and as reference the returns purchase order. Then the system will automatically propose movement type 161 and the direction indicator issue for the returns item. Okay, see, after we create a returns purchase order, how we will send the used item back to the vendor? We will go to Migo transaction code. Then we will select goods receipt, purchase order. Then that is the purchase order here will be the returns purchase order, which was created with the returns indicator. As soon as we select the returns purchase order, the system will automatically propose movement type 161 and the direction indicator will be minus for the returns item. Okay. So this one, we will see when we do one exercise on the returns for purchase order. Create a purchase order with vendor 50001 for 50 meters of cables, material number R-10011 at rupees 160 per meter. Plant 9110, storage location 1000, purchasing organization IN01, purchasing group M01 and company code 1501. Post GR and invoice for the purchase order. there is a agreement with the vendor that we can return the used cables, and vendor will pay for the copper in the cables at rupees 40 per meter by sending a credit memo. Create a return PO and return the used quantity of 50 meters of cables back to the vendor at the price agreed, which is 40 meters, which is rupees 40 per meter, and then post the GR for the return PO with 161 movement type. And then finally, the vendor will send us a credit memo for the return cables at price of rupees 40 per meter, post the credit memo, and display the accounting documents created after posting the credit memo. We will do this exercise. We will first create the purchase order, post the GR and IR. Okay. Let me go to SAP screen. Here. Let me go to ME21N, create purchase order. Okay. So here the vendor is 50001. Go to the header. This organization IN01, purchasing group M01, company code 1501, material R-10001, quantity 50 meters, plant 9110, storage location 1000. Okay, we will put the price is 160 per meter. Okay, which is agreed with the vendor. Okay, so now delivery date. Okay, we will put tomorrow's date. Okay, then click on check, save, created. Just click on the viewer. The system will display the purchase order just now created, ending with 17541. Okay. Now we will post the goods receipt and invoice receipt for this purchase order. Okay. To post the goods receipt, go to Maygo. Here, put the purchase order number 17541. Enter. Here, the system has copied everything. Click on item OK. Material document posted for the goods receipt. Now this material document will be updated in the purchase order. Okay. So here just click on display change button and again click on the display change button, and in the item detail we can see purchase order history tab is updated and we can see the goods receipt material document. Now we will post the invoice. Go back here. The transaction code is MIRO. Either we can Miro transaction code, enter. Okay. Put the date. Today is 4th November. Reference purchase order 17541. Put the purchase order number and here 175. This is here. Very important. 17541. Enter. Okay. So, sorry, we have to select invoice. Okay. Select invoice. Okay. Click on calculate tax. So, what is the total amount we have to pay? 9,520. Okay. Balance is 0. Just simulate back. So here, we have 19%, domestic tax. Okay. So 1,520 rupees is the tax, and the total amount, that is the material cost, is 8,000. 8,000 plus 1,520 is 9,520. This is the total amount, payable to the vendor. Okay. Now post. Okay. This invoice which is posted just now will be updated in the purchase order history. Let us go to the purchase order 175.41. Just click on display change button. Again click on display change button. In the item detail, we can see the invoice is also updated here. Okay. So let us go to the invoice and we can go to the follow-on documents. If we click on the follow-on documents, we can see the accounting document, which is created after posting the invoice. Okay. Go back here. Next. What is the next step here? Okay. We have posted GR and IR. Then create a return purchase order and return the used quantity of 50 meters of cable back to vendor at price rupees 40 per meter. Post the GR for the return PO with 161 movement type. Okay, let me go to SAP and I will create a return PO for this. Okay, return PO. Okay, so here click on create purchase order, put the vendor, purchase organization, purchasing group M01, company code 1501, material R-100 11 50 meters, and here plant 9110, storage location 1000, and the price is 40 rupees per meter. Okay, just enter. Okay, now we have put the price. Okay, and also the important thing here is, this is a returns PO. Okay, in the returns PO we have to select here as a return item. This is very important here. In the item overview, in the purchase order, okay, we can see here, there is a checkbox for the line item, okay, which is for the returns item. So whenever we create a returns purchase order for any item, it is very important we have to check this returns item. Okay, then only, this will become a return item. Okay, now click on check button here to see messages issued during check and save. Returns purchase order created under the number 4500017542. Click on the other button, other purchase order button. Purchase order will be displayed here. Okay, so we have created the returns purchase order. Now we have to post the GR for the return PO. Means that is, once we post the GR for the return PO, the materials will be, sent back to the vendor. Okay, so let us go to the SAP screen. See here, how to send the used cables back to the vendor. We have to go to Migo here. In Migo, as you can see here, see returns. Okay, so here goods receipt and as a reference and returns purchase order. Okay, just if we select goods receipt and the returns purchase order, the system will automatically propose movement type 161 for returning the material back to the vendor. See here, I am here in the Migo screen, goods receipt, purchase order, and just put the returns purchase order number. Our returns purchase order number is ending with 17542. Okay, because here we can see the returns indicator here, checked here. Let me go to 17541. Okay, 17542. Yeah, returns purchase order number is 17542. Put the returns purchase order number 42. Enter. As soon as you put the returns PO number and press enter, right, the system will immediately take the movement of 160. This is GR returns, and here we can see the minus sign here. Minus means that is stock will be reduced. Means we are returning the material to the vendor. Okay, if we are posting GR, right, for the initial PO, the sign was plus. That means, we were adding stock to our system. But here, minus means we are reducing the stock. Okay. That means, we are returning the material back to the vendor. Okay. Now, go down, click on item OK, check, click on the check button. Okay. Price change, that is, you will get this warning message. Just that price change warning message will come because, we are sending the material back to the vendor at lower price because that is, as per our agreement. Then click on post. Return material document is posted. Okay, let us go to the purchase order and here click on display change. Again, click on display change. Go to the purchase order history. This is the return material document with 161 movement type. Okay. Now, what is the next, next step in the exercise? This is done. We have posted the GR for the return PO with 161 movement type completed. The last step is the vendor sends us a credit memo for the returned cables at price of rupees 40 per meter. Post the credit memo. Okay, now we will post the credit memo. We will go to the SAP system. Here, back. The transaction code is MyRow. Here, put MyRow there or double click there. MyRow. Here, you have to select credit memo. Okay, to post credit memo, select credit memo. Put the date, reference number, reference purchase order of the returns purchase order. So the returns purchase order number is ending with 175442. 17542 and here the reference purchase order. So here is very important. 1754242. Press enter. The system will copy everything here actually because per meter it is 40 rupees. Okay, for 50 meters 2000 rupees. Okay, which we are going to get back. Okay, now click on calculate tax. 380 rupees is the tax. Okay, VAT, which you are going to pay to the government, and the total price will be 2380. Input the total price here, enter. The balance is 0. Click on simulate. Okay, so back and post. This will post the credit memo. Credit memo means here, that is vendor is, paying this money back to us in the form of credit memo. Credit memo document is also posted. Now we will go to the returns purchase order. Here, if we click on the display change button, again display change button, and in the item detail, in the purchase order history, we can see this both, this 161 return material document as well as the credit memo are updated. So this is the process of returns purchase order in which we return the used materials back to the vendor at some agreed price. And let us also display the accounting document created after posting the credit memo. Okay, so that is there here. I will click on the credit memo invoice. This is the credit memo. You can see here very well. Okay, now to go to the accounting document, click on follow on documents. Here, this is the accounting document. 00 ending with 13. Here we can see the account postings as a result of the credit memo. Okay, go back to the returns purchase order. So we have completed this exercise on the returns purchase order, and now it is very clear for us what is the purpose of the returns purchase order Okay, and also we have also done a very exercise. We have done a very good exercise on it. Thank you for watching my video, and we will meet in another video with another interesting topic. Till then, see you.